Possibly the most important week of the year to come. We get the final CPI reading of 2022. We also get the final interest rate decision from the Fed for 2022. And if that's not enough for you, there's a Microsoft Investor Day coming up, and Adobe is going to report earnings. It's your week ahead preview right now. Let's get things going with Monday. First off, quiet both on the economic front and earnings calendar. There's a big change coming, though, for Meta Materials. If you remember, going back to last week, we had Jeff Mendel, VP of OTC Markets, on live in studio, and he ran through the details surrounding this spin-off of the Series A shares from the OTC markets to a private company. So, if you are an owner of the OTC-listed Metamaterial shares, you have until Monday at the close to sell if you are choosing to do so, or you will be included in this deal. But they'll be delisted from OTC at the close on Monday. One notable earnings name to come then after the market closes on Monday. We'll get an earnings report from Oracle. All right, you're going to want to get a very good sleep Monday night and be bright-eyed and ready to go on Tuesday, because Tuesday pre-market at 8:30, we're going to get the final CPI print of the year coming before the Fed decision. Remember, the very next day. This is the final inflation-related piece of data that the Fed is going to consider before they make their decision coming up on Wednesday. Again, all signs still pointing towards a 50 basis point increase coming from the Fed. Meanwhile, we've had multiple economic readings of late, including the November jobs data and also the ISM services data that were higher than expected, remember. So there is still some underlying strength in the economy. This is going to be a very important print coming up again Tuesday at 8:30. We'll get that CPI for November. Most estimates looking for another slight downtick on both the month-over-month and the year-over-year numbers, with predictions of 6.2% and 7.6% rates, and an overall month-over-month increase then coming in at just 0.4%. Once we get beyond that print then, 8:30 Eastern pre-market, we get into the trading session. We have to be aware of Microsoft coming up on Tuesday. Starting at 11:30 Eastern, Microsoft is going to be holding their annual shareholder investor day. It's a virtual event, so it's going to be taking place online, but during market hours. So Microsoft could move. We'll keep an eye on any comments coming out of the investor day. Yum Brands, YUM, the ticker symbol, also having their investor day the same day. The action then heats up further on Wednesday, of course, where we get the final interest rate decision from Fed Chair Powell coming up Wednesday afternoon at 2 p.m. All signs still pointing to a 50 basis point increase set to come from Fed Chair Powell in a speech. Remember, back on the first day of November, Fed Chair Powell said it was time to start to slow the pace at which they are increasing rates, to then let the economy absorb what has already happened and show them that they need to continue. So some language that helped the market rally at the time, but gave everyone an indication that we are heading in the right direction. As mentioned, however, we have had some recent economic data pointing to underlying strength in the overall economy, with a November jobs number and the ISM print coming in hotter than expected. Tuesday's CPI reading then will be the final one the Fed will consider before they make their decision. The CME Fed Funds tool, meanwhile, still pointing to a better than 70% chance that we do get that 50 basis point hike. What does that mean as a trader? We'll have to wait and see when that happens again Wednesday at 2 p.m. Wednesday, the interest rate decision, followed by 2:30, the press conference. Make sure you're with us. Thursday, then, we'll be primed and ready to trade the reaction that is presented to us in the overall market post-Fed. Remember, going back to last month, we had a multi-day move coming off that last Fed decision. Make sure you're with us in the pre-market Thursday as well. There is some key economic data to come before we get things going on Thursday as well. We'll get November retail sales data, we'll get weekly jobless claims, and Philly Fed data all at 8:30, and then more to come with industrial and manufacturing production coming at 9:15. So make sure you're with us at 9:15. We'll be live already. We'll bring you those numbers as they happen. Thursday after the market closes, then we get the best earnings chance of the week. From a trade perspective, Adobe comes through with their earnings. That's, again, after the market closes on Thursday. So we'll have a look at Adobe shares Friday morning. More inflation-related data then coming Friday before the market opens as well at 9:45. One of those numbers that kind of sneaks up on you right after 9:30 when the market opens. But 9:45, we're going to get S&P's flash December PMI reading. Again, there is an inflation portion to that number, so the market will react to that. Make sure you're with us on Friday with CPI, with the Fed to come. This is a can't-miss week for trading. We're live daily on TraderTV.Live.